The following is a fourth-hand production.
Testicles, 1, 2. Testicles, 1, 2.
3.
What? No! You suck! Oh my God!
Hello, campers. Welcome back to another episode of What the Suck podcast. I'm James.
And I'm Chris.
And on the phone, we have our awesome #1 listener, and she's been a big help to us. You've heard her name mentioned before on the phone all the way from cold as hell, Michigan.
Cold as shit.
How cold is it up there anyway?
Oh, well, today is 56, so...
56?
56.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
a spring day. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to have to flip that because I should introduce her before I ask her a question.
Yeah, probably. That might be a good way to go.
The awesome Nikki Tomlinson from Michigan. Welcome to the show, darling. We're glad to have you.
Thanks for having me.
She is here to help us shred a complete turd pile. 1983's Microwave Massacre. It's a black comedy horror film. What? American black comedy horror film?
Yeah, American Black. Yeah, black comedy. It's black comedy.
Black comedy.
It means it's a dark comedy.
Well, I'm just, yeah.
It doesn't mean that it's African American comedy because I don't think there were any black people in it. Oh, there was one, the construction worker, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, I was about to ask, what is a black comedy?
Yeah.
It should say dark
Black
comedy. It's
humor?
like dark humor. It's like dark humor, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, why don't they just say dark humor then?
I have no fucking
Well, you
clue.
know what's funny is that there's an entry on Wikipedia for black comedy, so let's click on it real quick, and it says black comedy, also known as black humor, dark comedy, dark humor, or gallows humor, is a genre of comedy referring to a comic style that makes light of subject matter that is generally considered taboo, particularly subjects that are normally considered serious or painful to discuss. They probably mean all them titties that they had in the movie.
Damn.
Yeah, so black comedy is called black humor or dark comedy or dark humor. Why they have 4 different names for it, I do not know.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's get to it here. The film is directed by Wayne Berwick. Film is produced by Craig Muckler. I love these damn names. And Thomas Singer. The screenplay is by Thomas Singer.
Oh my God! Look at the stories by
The what?
story.
The story.
Look at what it said. Look at the next one is the next entry.
The story is by Craig.
It's just Craig. There's no last name.
It didn't say anybody else. Just Craig.
It's just Craig.
He didn't want nothing to do with this shit. He's like, look, I'll sell you my story, but just make up a fucking name.
Well, normally when they do that one name thing, they're trying to be like edgy, like Madonna or Cher. But those are names that you remember. You don't remember fucking Craig.
No, this is more. This thing was written by Beaker, I guess.
Yeah.
Muppet Show or some shit. It's starring Jackie Vernon. Just Jackie Vernon.
Just one fucking person.
Doesn't give any other names.
That's it.
To hell with it.
No one else wanted this on their IMDb page, apparently.
Music by Leif Horvath. Sounds Nordic.
It does sound Nordic, yeah.
Cinematography by Karen Grossman. Karen, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Edited by Steve Nielsen. Distributed by Selecta-Tape.
Selecta-Tape?
What the fuck is that? Release date of August 31st, 1983. A running time of 76 merciful minutes.
Very, very short minutes, thank God.
There's no budget. There's no Rotten Tomato score. They probably never even made it that far.
Probably not. So what's the film about, James?
The synopsis reads as such. Jackie Vernon, a frugal gourmet. I'm not going to say gourmet. Gourmet. That's what it says. That's how I'm going to fucking read it.
Okay, I didn't know what the fuck it meant, but thank you
gourmet.
for pointing that out. Okay.
Anyway, who likes his flesh done in a flash, loves women, especially between 2 slices of rye with lettuce and tomatoes.
Ha ha.
Barhar. You'll develop a taste for this cannibalistic comedy as Jackie slices sensual sweeties into microwavable morsels and seasons them with his own brand of horrific humor.
Fucking har.
Well, at least the synopsis is more entertaining than the movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Microwavable morsels? Ugh. Fuck this.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Good point, Nikki. Wow.
So, what I will do real quick here is I'm going to cover our rating system. It is, as everybody knows, an inverted turd scale, meaning one is actually a good movie, 5 is a complete
Piece of shit.
fucking turd pile.
It's a whole toilet of shit.
Yes. Now, you're going to go 1 out of 5. If you get 1 out of 5 turds, that's one you're going to keep in your queue. Your new classics, the ones you're going to watch over and over, and you'll get endless enjoyment out of. These are the classics. Like, for us, Jack Frost was one of ours. We got 2 out of 5 turds. These are the ones you're going to only watch with friends who really enjoy shitty movies, like me and Chris. Not for everyone, and they're best with a group who like to riff on movies and play a drinking game. These are like my favorites. I love to
These are
riff
hobgoblins
and
styles.
drink.
Yeah.
You got 3 out of 5 turds. You know, you want to at least share these with friends. Watch them, only if you have nothing better to do, and prepare to drink very heavily. 4 out of 5, the slippery slope. It starts to get pretty slick here.
Oh,
Nasty.
yeah.
Okay, you're going to watch this with friends once. Maybe trust me, that'll be enough. These are the ones that are so strange you may not want to see them more than once, and at least want to share the misery with your friend. And hopefully they will stay your friend. 5 out of 5, the top of the shit heap, the Fica della Mater, the worst of the worst. You only want to bring these out on special occasions. Forced double dates, the in-laws are in town, you want to run somebody off. And when you're finished watching these classic masterpieces, you want to erase them from your memory with some kind of mind-altering substance or blunt force trauma, which is my favorite. The Negan bat with the damn barbed wire or some shit.
He's a violent motherfucker, man.
Well, yeah.
All right. Well, that's so that's the rating system. So Nikki, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, about your interest in horror, where it started?
Yeah, so I was introduced to horror back when I was, I don't know, maybe like 7. My Uncle Jack thought it was hilarious to put on Child's Play.
Of course.
And, so I was terrified. I had my mom throw out all my dolls.
Oh, wow.
And then my dad, he got me into Tales from the Crypt like that. We would watch that every night.
Oh, it's a classic.
So, really, it started when I was young and started with my uncle. It was hilarious, like horror movies.
Do you have a favorite horror film?
Yeah, I do. Stephen King's It.
Okay, so which one?
I really like the remake.
Okay.
Chapter 1, not Chapter 2. That one can go to hell.
Oh yeah, we all know.
We know. We got you up there saying it.
Yeah, we got your infamous review of that on our Facebook page. Go check it out.
Yeah.
So then, what are your thoughts on the Tim Curry one?
No, I love that one too. I think he did a great job of playing a clown.
Mm-hmm.
He was very theatrical. That's his thing, though.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't know. I loved it just as much as I loved the remake. But Bill Skarsgård, he did a better job of being convinced, or he was more scary.
Yeah, and I saw, like I said, when you talked about the second one, that just made me have to go look up some of the YouTube clips. I wasn't going to watch it after your review. I was like, well, no, I don't want to ruin the original. But yeah, teasing him to death, literally, that was pretty hokey.
I mean, that's just Pennywise in a nutshell. I mean, even the Tim Curry one was infamous for that.
That last scene.
Yeah, that
terrible.
That was pretty horrible. That was pretty.
It was so agonizing to watch.
It was very cringeworthy.
Who the fuck came up with this?
The director.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ashamed of yourself.
I know.
See, like I've spoken about this before. My favorite horror movie is Christine, and always will be.
Oh yeah.
I fucking love that movie. I love that car killing teenagers. I can't help it.
He just likes killing teenagers, that's all. He likes killing teenagers without being caught, so he wishes he could be in the form of a car because you can't convict the car.
That's true.
And then he'd go out and just...
I want to say Christine was the first Stephen King horror movie I watched.
Oh, really? Christine?
Awesome.
Yeah, because my uncle, he loved cars. So he put that one on for us.
Of course.
Well, you got a car that goes out and does your dirty work for you and then comes back and fixes itself. What the hell? You can't beat that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. I wish cars could fix themselves because I fucking hate cars. So what would you say is the scariest movie you've seen in your life thus far?
Oh man, I want to say one movie. This movie kept me up.
Okay.
It's called Lights Out.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
I don't like shit that comes out at night.
So
I like my sleep. When you make something, when you make a monster like that or whatever,
Yeah.
an entity they like that goes, I'll turn the fucking lights off. It's scary. It just disturbed me. I couldn't sleep. I still think about that movie from time to time.
Yep.
Ugh.
Have you seen the original short story that was based off of?
No. Oh yeah. The little video,
Yeah, and so
like standing in the hallway.
yes, and then the way the face of the woman looks at the end of that short film, I think that's what was way scarier than what they did with the movie as far as making her sort of just a burned up girl.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the look of the creature at the end of the short film that terrified the shit out of me. Not so much the ending of the film, but the end of the short film really scared the shit out of me because that thing had this big old smile and then like these white dead eyes, and all it did was at the end when you see the face, all it does is like unplug the lamp that's right next to the thing, so you know some shit about to go down. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, there's another short story. It's called Bedfellows.
Yes, I've seen that one. That one's freaky too.
Oh, I know. Oh,
Yeah.
the face.
I love
Yeah, perfectly.
short story horror films because they manage to get across everything you need to in the matter of like 2 or 3 minutes, sometimes 4 or 5, without all the excess crap that you don't need that 90-minute films do.
Yes.
You know?
40 minutes of nothing.
Like another example is the short story for that movie Mama that the movie was based off of. The short film that they made originally is so much more scary because in the movie, the theatrical movie, they used a lot of CGI for the mama entity, but in the short film, it was an actor, a super tall, super lanky actor who can contort himself.
Jeez.
And so since he was actually there and you could see him there, that made it so much more scary when he did that weird kind of freaky running thing that it does in the movie. I don't know if you saw the original one for that one. All right, so do you have any Instagram pages or anything that you want to promote while you're on here?
I do have an Instagram page. It's Whisper My Phone. Whisper_MA.
Okay.
Yep.
And you have any Facebook or anything that you want to promote as well?
I do have a Facebook, but I leave that for more like, personal.
Gotcha.
So stay away, motherfuckers.
Yeah, just stick to the Instas.
It's my friend. I will hunt a motherfucker down, and I ain't got nothing better to do. So.
Okay, well, with that being said, why don't we go ahead and get into the review? Nikki, you ready to review this piece of shit?
Yeah.
All right.
I like she's very direct.
Yeah.
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 No. Hell no. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Just great short answers. I love it.
Well, we're gonna need a bit more than that to get through this thing, so we need you to like stretch out your nose a little more, stretch out your guesses.
All right. Well, let's get to it.
Let's do it.
Anthem Pictures reluctantly presents what is considered to be the worst horror film of all time. Your skin will crawl. Your stomach will turn.
I have to go to the restroom.
Your blood will boil. Dining will never be the same.
Full cordon bleu.
I never tasted anything so unique.
It's delicious.
Dismemberment. Death.
Oh, man.
Distastefulness.
My hemorrhoids.
Microwave Massacre.
This is it, May.
You're a walking contraceptive.
Say, you look so much better in the dark.
I've told you 1,000,000,000 billion trillion times.
You are what they eat.
I know I'm gonna be sick. Too many bones.
Okay, so that was the movie.
Motherfuck.
Yeah.
What a no, Jesus.
So, Nikki, if you want to go ahead and start us off and break us down on how this movie starts.
Tell you how it starts.
Yeah. What's the
Okay.
first scene that we get in this fucking movie?
This piece of shit starts off with this blonde chick, and it's the camera's right on her boob, and she's walking to wherever, I don't know. And she comes across this like hole in a wall, and
Which sounds like a glory hole.
Yep.
No, it's what I swear. It's like before they shot the scene, they made her like press her boobs up against the wall. And
Let me draw a chalk line around this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a perfect cutout for boobs.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was like, nice starting. I was like, great. There's already TNA. That means we're in deep shit.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in a fucking horror movie. Go ahead.
And so she sticks her boobs in the hole, and all the construction guys are running over to see her.
And it's like she was like getting jackhammered by some complete stranger. It's like the construction guys were sitting there, and the complete stranger just walked up behind her, and all of a sudden you saw her getting hammered, and then they popped through the fucking holes in the fence.
Yeah, and like her boobs pop through, but like slowly but surely her shirt comes off.
Yeah.
And the boobs are just there, just in this like as Nikki said, this perfectly shaped hole in this plywood fence that they built. Somehow they decided to put that hole at that height and in that shape so her boobs would fit right through them.
And that wasn't on purpose, was it, Nikki? Nah.
No, I don't think they meant that.
It's just one of God's coincidences.
Yep.
It just happened to work out that way, I guess.
Yeah. So then where do we go from Boobzilla?
We go to okay, so like the next thing is like his Donald's wife talking to her dog about her wonderful microwave.
and this poor dog has like his tongue sticking out and everything. He looks like he's just had a stroke.
Yeah, what was the dog's name? Something stupid. Napoleon or something?
Yeah, something like that. Something really dumb for a tiny dog.
Yeah.
The second annual Bayou City Paranormal Symposium is here, April 25th and 26th at the Pasadena Convention Center. Special guests include John Zaffis, Katie Stafford, the Kling Brothers, and more. 2 spine-tingling interactive exhibits, including the fan-favorite Psychomantium 2. Over 40 vendors and exhibitors will be on hand. Free vendor shopping all weekend. Discounted pre-sale tickets and VIP available now through February 29th. Bayou City's premier event for the things that go bump in the night. Go to badwolfevents.com for tickets and more info.
Donald has like a whole crab.
Yeah.
Was that a whole crab?
I had that in my notes too. I was like, he's got I said the movie already sucks, but at least thank God for the crab sandwich, because at least you had something to laugh at.
A whole fucking crab sandwich that he pulls out. Like,
oh my gosh, so stupid. He's just carrying it around like a purse.
Guys are like, what do you got there? Which, yeah, I will just note it now that the acting is like middle school play. I mean, it is some of the worst. Like I said, we have to, the bar was set with Murder Party back in episode 3. And we usually gauge movies against Murder Party when it comes to the acting because it was so horrible. This acting smokes that. So the bar is now at an all new low.
See, I always felt like Murder Party wasn't that bad. I always set it against Ouija. Not Ouija, I'm sorry. What was the stupid fuck? I Am Zozo.
Ugh.
I Am Zozo had the worst acting I think I've ever seen in my entire 40 years on this fucking planet.
Yeah, it wasn't even a horror movie.
No, it wasn't. All right, so where do we go from the Napoleon dog in the microwave? What happens then?
Donald, he's always complaining about his wife, what she makes for dinner.
Uh-huh.
And I think he was complaining to his coworkers about what his wife makes for dinner, and he doesn't like it because she uses a microwave the whole time.
She put a whole
every night.
Yeah, but she put a whole fucking crab with the shell intact in a sandwich.
In a sandwich.
Pretty sad.
Yeah, and he goes home and he's about to sit on the couch after she's done vacuuming it. Yells at him, "Don't sit on the couch, get it all dirty."
Did y'all notice the big huge fucking stain on the back of the couch?
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
It's like they got some curbside furniture for this movie because they couldn't afford real shit.
Went to Salvation Army.
Yeah, because then I was sitting there looking and I noticed that damn Beethoven statue, the beef oven, as I like to call it, from Bill and Ted. Beethoven statue that they tried to give the movie some class.
Yeah.
It just ain't working. That decor was fucking god awful. It was horrible shit.
Yeah, so, and then from there it goes, they do this a lot. They argue over dinner, and he doesn't like eating things that he can't pronounce.
It was probably pretty much everything, though. I don't think he can pronounce anything, to be honest.
Yep.
If it doesn't have the word sandwich in it, he can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got to be a sandwich. That's it.
That's it. I don't know if you're familiar with an old 70s TV show. I compared this to like a kindergarten rated version of the old All in the Family TV show, the way they argued with each other and the way she was all batshit crazy, basically.
She was so fucking insane.
At least Edith had a little bit of sanity, but
yeah. This lady was off her fucking rocker.
But that's what the kind of interaction, that's what I kind of got from it. So if anybody's ever seen the old All in the Family, this is kind of what it was, but except the acting
not
is
as funny.
nowhere near as good
Nowhere
or
as
funny.
good. Yeah.
No.
After that, it like cuts to this random chick walking through a construction site, like wearing those booty parts, those ugly ass shorts.
Okay, well, up to this point, like I said, all you keep getting is this endless chain of horrors. And it reminds me of a shit-ass version of the movie Hostel.
Yeah.
Where there's nothing but tits and ass for the first 2 hours before you get to anything remotely resembling death or murder or anything.
Yeah.
So it was real. It's very hard. It's just, it's like, holy shit.
But this movie was only 70 minutes long.
It was only 70 minutes long, but they wasted like 30 fucking minutes before they even did anything.
Barely an hour. Like, I don't understand how you can make a movie that's an hour and not have anything for the first half hour.
Yeah, and I actually made note of the model number, and I'm thinking of going, at this point, I was already thinking of sticking my head in the old X1-74A
oh, yeah.
supersized microwave and cooking my brains.
Fucking industrial McDonald's size microwave and shit.
I was not enjoying this at all. I mean, I know that's the point, but yeah, this is yipes.
Terrible.
Yeah, so I actually timed it. It was actually 27 minutes into an hour and 15-minute movie before we get the first really poor, shitty-ass kill.
Okay, so let's discuss this first kill in detail. So what happens, James?
He loses it with the old bat.
Okay.
She's screaming, hollering, bitching at him about this, saying he's this, that, and the other. He finally loses it.
Okay.
And he basically chokes her ass. He grabs her with both hands, chokes, and she's dead in like 4 seconds. I mean, she's like gone. And there's no blood. Lousy,
Did you notice when he like stops choking her and he gets like the pepper shaker or the salt shaker?
That's right.
He sprinkles some on his back. And then he starts smacking her with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he started beating the shit out of her with a damn pepper shaker. That's right. And then he was like stuttering and shit. I think after he killed her, he started may. Started talking to her and shit. Well, anyway, he puts her ass in the fucking microwave and puts it on slow broil and walks the fuck off. And I'm like, geez, because you didn't know it at this point. I mean, you know by the premise of the movie that what eventually is going to happen. But I guess as it comes about, he discovers by accident that human flesh is obviously tasty. So, yeah.
And, I mean, I guess he can pronounce all the names of his victims, so he can eat them because he can pronounce them. That was his big thing, right?
Yep. And then when he's butchering her, that was horrible. I mean, it was a fucking, department store mannequin on a table. It was horrible shit, and he's hacking this fucking thing up, and you're like, come on, man, this is ridiculous. And this time you can tell the budget's shot. There is no money for this fucking thing.
No, there's no budget.
There's
for
no
this.
good practical effects. It's all crap.
Yeah.
I think this movie is basically supposed to be a complete and utter laughing stock.
It seems like a parody almost at this point.
Yep. But what I love the most is after he gets his first taste and he's like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
You see him come home after work again and he makes a bitch kebab. He puts her fucking hand on the skewer with the vegetables and cooks her fucking hand and takes it to... Oh, man, that was funny as shit. And I just called it a bitch kebab.
All right, so then where do we go from here, Nikki?
Yeah, he like brings her cooked ribs to work the next day.
Short
and
rack.
He's chowing down on it, and his coworkers are like, "Oh, let me try.
I mean, motherfucker.
He lets him eat it.
Yeah, that was great, man. I'm like, God damn, man. You just, I mean, most of the time I'd be like, hey, get the fuck off my lunch, you know, but.
Well, I mean, I think as we saw from the first scene, his coworkers aren't the brightest bunch in the pack. So
Okay, and then what we have now is, I believe, what is this guy? What is that stupid motherfucker's name? Max? What is this dumbass name?
I forgot after I watched it. So.
I'll just call him Archie. Because
well, do you know what it was, Nikki?
His name's Donald.
Donald!
How do you call him Max? Where the fuck you get Max from?
Maximum Pain.
Maximum Pain. Okay, good.
Anyway, Donald's dumbass has started to develop a taste for this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes out and gets this damn hooker. And then he gets her back to the house and makes a hors d'oeuvre out of her ass.
I see what you did there.
Yeah,
Very nice.
I got to set it up, you know.
But not until after he's done.
I know.
Doing her. That's his thing.
Yes. Good addition. Way to jump in there. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, then he starts to get where and he arouses him and he wants to consume. So in other words, he has to screw them before he eats them. That's fucking retarded. But it was kind of funny, but yeah.
But so he's a cannibal, but he's still a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And what's funny is after he killed the whore, he disposed of her, he chopped her all up, and there was an arm in the fucking trash, and this dude comes and picks this fucking arm out of the trash and scratches his nuts with it.
Oh, yeah.
And then he fucking takes it. Then he scratches his back and shit, and I'm like, "Oh Lord!" And it just keeps going. And then, I guess we get treated to, I guess, just a series of scenes now where he's going out and he's seducing these women,
right?
And he's chopping them up. We got the skeezer on ride, which I love that one. Lays the body in between two big ass pieces of bread and slices through the motherfucking.
That was hilarious.
It was. This was the only thing that made it half-ass worth watching.
Yeah.
The attempt at humor. And it's just like mindless, numbing, just mindless, brain-numbing scene after scene of the same stupid shit. And they didn't even mix it up. It was just like, it would just show a body on the counter and he's chopping it.
Yeah.
This, that, and the other. And he's chopping it. And what's funny now is May's head is still in the fridge. He just keeps it in there.
Right.
And toward the end of the movie, thank God, when it gets toward the end of the fucking movie, you notice his head starts fucking moving around. And I'm like, why? But you know how it's disappearing and they would show up somewhere else and then show up over here and it's like, what the fuck's going on here? And then...
Yeah, I didn't get that.
I didn't either. I didn't fucking either. And what was funny is then that stupid bitch sister of hers shows up. And go ahead and take it from there. I remember, remember that scene?
Yeah.
When his dumbass sister shows up? Go ahead and roll with that one.
Okay, so she shows up and she demands to see May because she hasn't heard from her. That's not like her. So he has May's head behind him the whole time for whatever reason. And when she looks away real quick, he goes, all right, here she is. And then, pulls the head out and then puts it right back behind his back. So she didn't even get to see it. So she goes in another room and he quickly goes in the bedroom and he sets up her head, make it look like she was laying in bed. And instead of, if you want to see May, she's back here. She peeks in the room. This shitty ass. Her head looked horrible. Like, it wasn't even convincing.
Not even close.
We had to...
I think didn't he strangle the sister at that point?
Well, what was funny is he took her out with a baguette.
With a baguette.
He choked her with a fucking hard roll.
Yeah.
He stuffed it down her throat. Now, it didn't kill her, though. So he ended up stuffing her ass in the closet. Yeah. And just tied her up and just stuffed her in the closet. But yeah, I'd have done that too. I'd have finished her off, though, because she was one annoying bitch.
Yeah, she got on my fucking nerves.
I mean, she was just like her sister.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
At this point, I kept, when this scene came up, I was like pressing the power. I kept pressing the damn button on the remote to see how much more of this shit I had to put up with.
Yeah.
I was like, end finally. End. Jeez, just fucking end already. Because the other supporting cast members weren't even worth mentioning. It was just a bunch of fucking GoBot version village people.
They barely had names. Yeah. I mean, it was just construction workers and Tits McGee, pretty much, you know?
Exactly. Well, finally, this old bastard, I guess, the consumption of horrors and the sexual activity with the shitty shape that he was in finally got the best of him. He drops dead. So I called him Starsky and Hutch because you got these two idiots coming here, and they finally come in and find his ass dead. And movie over, but not without one last shot of May's fucking head in the fridge. The eyes light up. No explanation what the fuck. So
no.
So luckily and mercifully, the movie ended. This was complete shit. So. Now, as our guest...
Listen, folks, it sounds like we just kind of rushed to this movie, but there was so little story and so little plot that there was nothing really to talk about, because this movie, 70 minutes of nothing but lame cannibalism and TNA. That is not... Even Porky's had more story than this movie did.
Hey, Porky's was badass, though.
That's what I'm saying, but Porky's was... I mean, Revenge of the Nerds had a better story than this did. Okay,
I like Revenge of the Nerds.
I love it too, but it's not a fucking classic.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying. Same time period, but it's not a classic, and it's just nothing but nerds and TNA, and it had a much better story than this movie does. So it may seem like we just rushed through it, but trust us, we stretched this out as much as we could with the material that was given to us,
because it was scene after scene of the exact same thing.
Yeah.
There was nothing to branch out on. There was really nothing else to develop. I mean,
let's say, what was that one we did? The Chopping Mall that we did, 70 minutes as well.
Yes.
But that had much more story and much more.
It had a shitload of fun stuff to talk about.
In the same time frame, the 80s, same time, running time, 70 minutes, but had so much more to go with than Microwave fucking Massacre.
Yeah, and Nikki, I am so sorry, because I thought when I invited you to come on the podcast for this episode that it would be a little bit more interesting. I had no idea it was a shit show. I mean, you even told me online when we were setting up the time and date and everything to do this, you even told me, oh my God, that movie?
Oh, yeah, because I was bored one night, and I was like, I'm just going to go down like a little binge of 80s horror.
Uh-huh.
And I came across that one, because someone on Instagram posted that, bullshit. I watched it, and I was like, oh, I can't believe I wasted my time on that.
Yep. So don't unfriend me, please. Don't unfriend me on Facebook. I'll go on there blocked.
No. No.
Okay, now with all that said, it's time to end the misery and get to the ratings.
Yes, let's do it.
Nikki, as our guest, and it has been a pleasure having you, would you please divulge to this wonderful listening audience your rating of this complete fucking failure?
Okay. This is a pretty easy one for me. I'm going to give it 5 turds.
Damn!
Wow, straight to the
turds.
the 5. Shit. Okay. Please explain why.
Okay, the acting was absolutely terrible. Donald, I couldn't stand how I don't know. He bugged me. Out of everybody else in that film, he was the most annoying character ever. I think it was mostly his voice. But he talked like a fucking toddler. I couldn't stand him. Yeah, the story was absolutely terrible. I don't think they thought that one through. And the kills were lame as fuck.
Totally agree with you there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So 5 turds, huh?
Wow.
Jeez. Didn't even waste any time.
No, she went straight for the fucking jugular.
Yep. She is a horror chick, right?
That's right.
That's what you do. You go for the throat.
And as such, she knows her shit, so.
Absolutely. And Duck, what do you think?
Are you going to go with me? Okay. I am actually going to agree with Nikki. This is a 5 out of 5. As we've pointed out multiple times, there isn't any redeeming factor of this movie at all. It's described as a black comedy, so that means it's supposed to be darkly funny, but it was not dark because the kills were shitty and the special effects were horrible. The comedy fell flat at every instance. I mean, and as y'all pointed out, it was set up from the beginning when the first scene is the tracking shot of the girl's tits, and then she gets the construction scene and she finds a hole, and when the guy pinches her butt, she happens to fall into the wall, which lands her boobs directly in that hole. And for some reason, she's moving around and her tits flop out. And that's supposed to be funny. That's not funny. That's painfully, like, cringeworthy right there.
What's funny is it shows her getting jackhammered, too, and you don't see the guy.
But
you just see her hopping up and down. You're like, what the hell is going on here?
You don't see anything. The guy grabs her ass, and then she gets pushed forward into the hole, and her tits come out. But then on the opposite side, you see the construction workers trying to run up to grab her tits. And on the other side, you see her looking like she's being jackhammered, but you don't see anything at all. You didn't see anything before that indicating that he, like, you know, was straight up damn raping her, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the construction workers, like, just before they get up to the hole to grab her tits, she, like, moves out of the way for some reason, but you don't see the guy. No payoff, no setup at all. It's just, it was completely, it was like it was made by a 15-year-old.
Yep.
So I am going completely 5 out of 5 as well.
Yeah.
What about you, James?
Motherfuck. Let's just start with that.
Okay.
Acting was deliberately horrible. I know it was because it's said its way.
Yeah.
The script could have actually, the script itself sucked. The story, the premise of the movie would have been better, you know, like with a better, you know, better production budget. They could have actually done something kind of cool with this.
Right.
You know, kind of a Soylent Green kind of shit, you know, old school.
Yeah.
But then again, if it was good, it wouldn't be on this fucking show anyway.
On the show, no.
Anyway, and
just 5. Are you going 5?
Are you kidding? I wish I could go 6, but I'm going to reserve that for the worst movie of the season. I don't think we've seen anything.
This at least had us. I mean, you know, the Zozo 6 had us going what the fuck in, like, the worst ways possible. This had us going what the fuck in, like, more funny ways.
Like I said, it's not recommended. See, a 6 turd, when we went to that one, that was because of the fact that we just absolutely couldn't recommend the movie. Because for one thing, it wasn't even a horror movie.
True. Very true.
There was no horror content to it.
There were no kills.
The only blood in the whole movie was the fish.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
So, yeah.
At least we had some gore in this movie.
This is a solid slam dunk 5 turd with a couple of pebbles thrown in because it was garbage.
Some dingleberries.
I would recommend people see this once.
Yeah, I would too.
But drink and then go slam your head in the garage door or something.
Yeah.
You know, just...
Don't keep it in your queue. Don't buy it on DVD or Blu-ray or VHS. No. Don't even buy it on VHS. Like, don't.
Yeah. And what would you recommend? Would you recommend, Nikki?
I would recommend you find a YouTube channel that just does quick reviews so you don't waste too much of your time.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Smart girl.
Smart. Or just listen to our review of it, and then you can get a better sense of it than actually watching the movie.
Yeah, or that.
Yep. And with that being said, Nikki, once again, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you being on the episode. Probably bring you in on another season, maybe again, to try this again and see. That's if you don't go run screaming from the building. Anyway, my name is James, and if you don't see it on What the Suck, it ain't shit.
And I'm Chris, and I will see you at the next Suckfest.
Welcome back, Beyonders, to the Beyond Terrestrial Podcast, your home for the strange, the macabre, the sometimes conspiratorial, and the downright supernatural. I'm half of your hosting duo, Dan Martson, and with me, as always, Mr. Lee Eric.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I'm really excited to be here today.
Well, Lee, you're out there in the Bell Witch's backyard. You've been diving deep into stories of elemental protectors in the spirit world. And to go along with our Bell Witch-themed episodes, you've done an interview with Mr. Joel Merriweather, the director of the Town of Adams Bell Witch Festival play.
Yes, sir. I got a chance to sit down with Mr. Joel, and actually, I didn't actually sit with him, but I was. We were sitting on the phone together, and I got a chance to really talk with him about the story, and also about his involvement with the town of Adams and how they really celebrate this amazing story from our history.
Dude, that's awesome. I loved it. I think our listeners are going to love it. Let's go right to it.
All right, we're going to jump into it right now. Welcome, everybody, to Beyond Terrestrial Podcast. I am back, and I am here today with a Mr. Joel Merriweather. He directed the outdoor drama of The Bell Witch for the city of Adams, Tennessee. And he is excited to be on here with me, and he's going to tell us a little bit about himself right now.
Well, hello. I've been directing for about 30 years. I have a master's degree in directing and an undergraduate degree in English. I've always been a fan of the Bell Witch legend and other aspects of the paranormal. I guess my interest in the Bell Witch goes back to junior high school, 8th or 9th grade, and it also helps that ground zero for the Bell Witch is about an hour from my house.
You've been listening to a fourth hand joint.